Okay, time to see if this is actually going to work for me. Good morning, everyone. Assuming that I'm live at the moment. Not exactly sure if I am. Logging onto my computer to check. And I will drop this link in some other chats, of course, if it's open. Like if my stream is up. Okay, cool. So I think I see it. Let's mute that. Yeah, I'm just gonna spread this. Just give me a second, guys. Guys and gals. Okay, so the purpose of this morning's stream is that I am going to remod everything. So everything I have, mods are coming off. It's free mod removal at the moment. And I feel like I've had a lot of questions about, well, how do I mod this tune? Why do I mod it this way? And it's really a very complex question because how you mod your tunes changes their functionality. So let me see actually. I am going to delete all my teams. And actually I'm going to plug you guys into my ears right now so you don't have to hear me typing as much. So give me a second. Okay, so you guys are plugged into my ears. This is actually going to majorly suck. Hello, Tapama from the Ukraine. Hey, Web. So I am getting rid of all the teams that I have. Yeah. And then I'm going to remove mods from every single character. And I'm going to remod everything. So this is a very sad day. Because this is a lot of work to do. Oh, well, I guess not that one. Because they're on a scavenger mission. So that's okay. But I still will unmod them. So that's actually pretty annoying that the scavenger mission's right there. But that's okay. I kind of like a space just in case I want to slot in an extra team. And it looks like you'll see me as I open up some weapons in a second. Oh, well, one weapon. Okay. Right now, I'm from Canada, by the way. Let's get this link. Drop it in some chats. Oh. Shoot, I can't actually put this into chats at the moment because I'm using my phone. That's a little... Oh wait, maybe... Actually, I should be able to do this. Sorry guys, you gotta just bear with me for a second. What? Okay guys, give me 1 second. I'm just trying to figure this out right now. Okay, it's not letting me do what I want to do. But I am live. And this is... Does it not? Okay, there we go. Goodbye, all my mods. See, this is where I wish there was a nice, easy button to hit unmod everything, because I have mods on a ton of different characters. A ton. So, here we go. Feel free, guys, to ask me questions, by the way, in the chat box. Do you play on a phone, tablet, or computer? I play on my phone. I tried a tablet once, and I just found that it was, too big for my hands. It was hard to use, hard to carry, hard to play on, so I kind of just stopped. just didn't find it to be that valuable. Well, that helpful. Like, I want to go fast, and it definitely did not let me go as fast as I wanted to. Oh, this is so sad right now. So, with this video, I'm hoping that I can explain to you guys, like, how I make certain teams, why I make certain teams, the mod functionality, as well as how the weapons come into play. Like, what my goal is with each team, because I know some people have the ability to have like 1 or 2 attack teams and then be solid. Being a free-to-play player, I don't have that luxury. Instead, I have to create specific attack teams against specific defense teams. And the type of defense team that I make, well, I'm going to talk about actually why I don't like certain characters on defense, how I feel like they kind of hold me back in some ways. So I'm hoping that this video will be informative for you guys and helpful. And again, I am willing to ask questions. I am doing great, thank you. Yeah, because I'm typing on my computer beside me, usually. Yes, it is 9 a.m. It is 9 a.m. for me right now. I'm not a huge fan of 9 a.m., but I was going to start to work this morning, and I'm just a little delayed on that, so I thought, may as well do something fun, do something helpful. I'm hoping that some of you guys will find it helpful at least, because I know that this doesn't seem that exciting, but I've wanted to do a video like this for a while. I feel like being able to break down like why and how my tunes are modded could be important and helpful. And maybe not, but it's just an idea, and I hope you guys like it, of course. Again, sorry that it's taking so long to unmod every single tune. It's just that there's a lot of characters that I've put mods on. I feel like there's some down here too. I feel like that. Yeah, there's Harper. I like Harper, actually. Alpha's better, though. The new Alpha. The blue... No, not the blue. The green one. Sorry, I'm thinking blue beta. Oh, there's the Alpha. That was me playing around with a 6-star trader. Got a Sadiq. We have Taunt Smash Alpha. We have Mia. Hey, Emin. Yeah, curious about starting over? Oh, curious about starting over. Yeah. I don't even know why I have Slater modded. I don't know if I've ever even used him. I think we're getting close. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to touch these guys. I know I said unmodding everything, but I'm just looking. Yeah, I don't think I need to. There's nothing overly good down here. That I might take for now. And that, sorry, Kate. Oh wait, actually I use Kate, so I can unmod her and I'll remod her. Pam, I don't use you. I'm going to leave Abraham. This is fine. Sandy, oh, I gave Sandy something pretty high. I'm gonna remove that for now. Yeah, Sandy, you just lost your mods. Victor can as well because I usually use Harper. Michonne can because I usually don't use her. Minerva can because, again, I don't use her. Same with this one. Mia, I use her, but I also see a platinum mod. This Rick, don't really use him. Harper, I do. You know, those aren't too high. I can probably leave that, to be honest. I don't need to leave it on the second one, though. Or an Andrea. Command Maggie, I use her quite a bit. Nothing overly powerful. Can leave that. This Michonne, I don't use her right now. Okay, I think that's just about it. So before I I'm not gonna open messages during this, but before I get into making new teams, I'm just gonna write down kind of some information. So the way I go about things, I make teams that are very specific, to attacking different defensive teams, if that makes sense to you guys. So right now what I'm thinking of is what defensive teams are out there. What teams... Hold on, I can actually send this to a couple places. Let's share that. Perfect. So what teams do I see on defense? So right now on defense, I see Javier leads, which are new. So that's going to be one that I definitely want to mod against. I still see some Angel leads. That's less likely, so that's lower down. This might be higher up. Let's see. I see Jackie leads, and usually there's traders and stuff behind it, or it's a turn one rushing team. So Jackie is a big one. I still see some Mercer leads, but he's less frequent at the moment. He's more widely available, so it's weird. He's less frequent because he's more widely available, which is crazy. And you know what? I'm actually going to go into the tower. Oh, I'll actually hit this and see what happens. 3%. And that was just that. Okay, so I have seconds to fix this if I want to, so just bear with me. Sorry, guys. Just going to add 5% here. And then over here, I want to take... Let me see, where's that weapon? This. I'm gonna go with this for now. And leaving that. We're gonna go into the tower just so I can take a look at teams. Okay, I guess the other ones we can see are Aaron, and I'm gonna do /Pete at the moment because I kind of lump in true defensive leads as one, because you can anticipate kind of what's behind them. Oh, and then you have attacking leads on defense. Okay, so I think that's about it. Yeah, so along with Pete and Aaron, I'll throw Leopold in there. Any more leads? Defensive leads? We don't see a lot of Carrie Ann. I don't even know if she's defensive. She is defensive, but don't see a lot of her. Imani, don't see a lot of her either. I think that's about it. Okay, cool. So the way that I go about with modding my teams and stuff, I think about what I tend to see on on the defensive team. And you know what? I like putting my defensive teams here first, so I'm going to leave 3 spots and then start off with attacking. So this is going to be, I guess, versus defense leads. So with specific defensive leads, so with defensive leads, we're thinking, they're Aaron teams, Pete teams, Leopold teams, which means that they have defense as well as HP as their lead skill. And in the case of Pete and Leopold, they also have AP when taking damage. They're pretty tanky characters, right? So we definitely want to use a team that has something like, where's Kenny? Kenny in it. Now the reason for Kenny is because when he rushes, that 75% attack up and focus is huge. The additional crit is also huge. He also has the bonus of being able to revive and giving a guardian shield. He has no bound weapon. His active skill is elusive, which means that any toons under the influence of elusive will not give away AP to other toons that are attacking them or the toons that they attack, which is really useful. So he's definitely going to be going on to this team. He is a supporting toon. You know, he doesn't deal damage, he controls. He has neutralize, which you want to be careful with because you don't want to neutralize a toon that has attack up when impaired. How will you do this war? Have 1 defense against strong or green, 1 for small. How will you do this war? Have 1 defense against stronger green, red, and 1 for smaller factions that attack with mainly blue. No, I just kind of keep the same, to be honest. Like, I don't change much with what I'm doing. Okay, I gotta think about this because I want to give him a defensive mod set, but I also don't want to take away my good defensive mods like these, which I'm going to use on my defensive team, which is why I usually do my defense first, but that's okay. We might switch to that in a second just because I'm picky like that. Let me see. So we're going to give him something like HP set. And we're going to give him, we can go 515. Okay. Here we're thinking, because we're using him against true defensive leads, and we're thinking Pete is like part of that, we could do something like stun resist. So my good stun resist, I'm going to want to keep them on defense a lot, to be honest. Well, some on defense, some on offense. I don't want to give Kenny my 75% resistance, I don't think. I might give him my 61. Yeah. 61% is decent. I'm thinking here. Sorry, I'm just trying to contemplate where I should go with this. Because he's never going to apply a lot of damage to my team if he's confused. So I'm thinking a defense when confused mod is okay. Because even if I run him against a Jackie team, which, you know what, I might. If he's confused on the first turn, well, he's going to be gaining AP anyway when he attacks. No one on my team should be able to rush on that first turn, but he might be able to neutralize an opponent. Here I'm thinking, okay, let's max that out because that's annoying. Cool. We're not going to use that here. We're going to use a defense versus tough mod. And we're going to use this one. Now, the last spot, this is the tricky part because it's like I could go with a defensive mod here. Raises defense, nothing wrong with that. But I could also go with something, like taunt resist. And the reason why I'm thinking taunt resist, or impair resist actually. Impair resist might be better here. I'm just thinking because on some of these defensive teams, we see a lot of like windowless teams. So if I can't be impaired or stunned, well, I'm going to have a better chance of rushing Kenny, and really rushing Kenny is really important. And if he's taunted into a toon, well, he might be neutralizing them in the end anyway. So that's how I'm thinking about Kenny at the moment, just supporting toon. His role is to assist my other characters. The type of weapon that I'd give him is this. It's not great, but it has this 1535. And I don't have another one like that. So just because he's a supporting character. Against all of these real defensive leads, I like having a true offensive leader. You know, give her a rampage weapon, combat. I'm going to give her this so that she crits more often because I do have her with the rampage weapon, so on critical hits, she'll hit 2 additional enemies on the same side. Level the fancy lifestyle or sell it. Yeah. Hey, Ed. AP drain. AP drain isn't bad. Hey, Punchy. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I stream at weird times. I don't have any set schedule. I like using attack up when impaired on my Priya, just because if a dock ends up like taunting and impairing, she gets a boost. If she attacks a frost with an impair weapon, she gets a boost. There's just so many ways that she can be boosted off of this. Here I definitely want to give her a high stun resist, because with her performing basic attacks, she could be stunned in any single attack. Now this next one, I definitely want an attack versa trait. Now the question is which trait. Like we have a number of red characters that are out and a number of yellow characters. I already have an attack advantage against red characters, so I'm thinking against yellow. And I might actually have, nope, that'll be my highest unless this levels up nicely. Okay, lots of 3%, no. Okay, and this last spot, confuse resist, because I don't want to rampage my own team. So 63. So that's not bad. So this is how I have my Priya modded, and this mod setup is also good for if I want to use her against Jackie teams and stuff, which in a lot of cases I do. This type of mod set, so the confuse resist, I don't want to rampage my own team. The stun resist, because when she does basic attacks on her rush, she could be stunned. Attack up when impaired, because lots of people run impair weapons on defense. If I impair her on purpose on her rush, she's getting an attack boost, which impacts the double attacks as well as the rampage. And hold on guys, just drinking coffee for a second. Okay. Attack versus fast, just because she already has a trait advantage against tough tunes. And there still are quite a few fast tunes on defensive teams. So just thinking about it that way. On almost every single offensive team, I believe you need to have someone who can normalize. And Princess is just such a good tune for this. I love her active skill. Like, even though the taunt can be a bit of an issue if someone has attack up when taunted, overall the normalizing ability is just, it's spectacular. You really need her on your team. And with her, like, I haven't fixed her weapon. I really should, but that'll probably happen after I finally get some more blowtorches and stuff. But she's a damage dealer, she's a controller, she's a tune that can really do it all. I want her to be very offensive. I also don't want her to hit my own team. So she's getting a confuse resist. I'm going to give her an attack up when taunted, so 92%. And part of that's because if other tunes taunt her, she might be able to one-shot them. With her overall kit, because she has Berserker, for example, like every time she takes damage, she gets 20% more attack, which actually works well with her weapon, because 75% chance to get 60% attack for 2 turns. That does like carry over. Like it's multiplicative. Oh, that's not cool. My bad right there. So what was that? 61%. Here I'll give her more attack, because a princess with more attack is always a good thing. Now, I'm going to do attack versus alert, and I'm doing that because my Priya already has attack versus fast. So I want to have some balance, because again, this is the team I'm using against true defensive leads, and because it's Aaron, Pete, Leopold. Aaron is yellow and blue, Pete is red and blue, and Leopold is green and yellow. Green is like the least likely you're going to see. There's just not a lot of green defensive tunes. Yeah. Oh, I'm not doing a crit damage mod for Priya. Now, the reasoning is that crit damage only impacts primary attacks. So I'm actually going to draw this out, which you guys can't see, but I'll just say it. So if we think about how Priya attacks, if Priya rushes, she does 3 attacks on her rush. Now, if you have a double attack weapon, that can double to 6 attacks. So the 3 attacks we're saying are primary, the 6 attacks are secondary, and then each of those 6 attacks can do an additional attack each. So that's 6 and 6 more, so you can do a total of 18 attacks on damage. Well, producing damage. And the last 12 attacks, so that's the rampage, I'm talking just about rampage, I'm going to call that tertiary damage. Okay? So, hold on, let me bring up, I'll fix it after, but with a crit damage mod, this will only impact critical hits on primary damage. So the primary damage that Priya does is based off of her 3 initial attacks. So those primary attacks. Crit damage does not factor into secondary attacks or tertiary attacks. Although crit damage is good at killing the initial target, it's less effective with killing secondary and tertiary targets. And to me, because of my play style and being a free-to-play player, and I guess the level that I'm trying to play at, it's important that I can kill multiple characters at once. Now, because I've explained how like attack up one impaired works in different videos and I've streamed about it and stuff, it's one of the reasons why I don't like running an impair weapon on defense, because it's almost like giving away an attacking advantage to the enemy. So I do not run impair weapons when I can on my defensive team. Now, for Princess, I gotta think here what I want to do, because her HP is not super high, and if she ends up exhausted, for example, what is that? It's like 1,500 damage, so that brings her down to 2,000, which, you know what, it's not that bad now that I think about it. I'm thinking on some of these tanky teams right now, because of the introduction of Mr. Lou, I might see some of that. So I'm almost tempted to put a bleed resist here, so that she can at least sometimes resist that bleed. Like, I'm just kind of thinking out loud here, because with these tanky teams, as well as with like a Jackie lead, Mr. Lou might be on some defensive teams, and when he's able to use his active skill in the first turn and camouflage himself, as well as be a payback tune, he's applying quite a bit of bleed on the first turn. So that's something I'm going to think on, actually. I'm going to leave it there for now, and just maybe an epiphany will come to me. The other option, of course, is just a normal like stun resistance, which is perfectly fine as well. So yeah, I'm gonna leave that for now and come back to it. Now, for the rest of my team, it's a pretty standard setup. Tank team, so where's my Dr. Stevens? Yeah. Somewhere. Okay, I guess I scrolled way too far. This one. So this Dr. Stevens, he has a pretty decent weapon, and I'm actually, yeah, no, he's fine right there, I think. Yeah. So with his weapon, I got kind of lucky, kind of unlucky. It was mixed feelings on this. I wanted him to get fast healing on his weapon, but Team Player 4 is also quite good. Now, specific for this one, because I'm against true defensive leads, I'm not going to use my fast healing weapon that I could put on him. Instead, I'm going to leave this for now, but it's an easy weapon swap for me if I need. So like this weapon, for example, 8%, and then also fast healing. I also have this weapon, so an impenetrable defense weapon, as well as it has team player, but I'm going to leave it. So with him, he's a 6-star character. He's prone to dying. I need him to stay alive, so he's actually getting like some of my best mods, because without him, I am going to struggle, and that is fact. So he's getting my highest stun resist. He's going to get my highest confuse resist as well, because the game is about offense, people. The game is about offense, and don't forget that. So defense versus tough, because there's still a ridiculous number of tough tunes that are overpowered, in my opinion. We think Beta, Princess, Priya, Mercer, just a lot of offensive tunes. Now this last spot, let's see. I'm never exactly sure what to do with this last spot with Dr. Stevens, because I don't use him on defense, so that's a plus. I don't like lifesteal, for example. I'm thinking about reflect, but I also don't want to reflect my own team by mistake because I use him on an offensive team and I'm going to use him against Jackie leaders too. So I'm almost thinking a graze mod might be okay. Now it's only a small chance because it's a minor chance of happening, but considering the other options I have, he's not going to be doing basic attacks, so AP drain isn't that effective. Defense when stunned could be okay, but it's kind of redundant when I have a 75% stun resistance mod. So this is the setup I'm going with Dr. Stevens. I like more HP because exhaust being applied to him. By him having more than 5,000 HP, it means even the 100% AP gain that he does, he won't die from it. He will have 51 HP left if Angel applies her exhaust. So that's my thinking right there. And then finally, we're actually going to use Dale on this team. Now again, the reasoning is because it's against true defensive leads, so we're thinking Aaron, Pete, Leopold, right? So this is important to remember here. So I'm using an attack up Kenny and a defense down Dale. He also has 100% heal reduction, as well as focus on his active skill. It is a bit late, but it's still somewhat effective. It does have a bound weapon. I need to fix it eventually. Again, there's a lot of eventuallys. I let Kenny bring him back. Just the next turn for fun. Yeah, that can be helpful, but at the same time, like, I want to be consistent, and sometimes I might need Kenny to bring someone else back. I have not modded Erin yet, so I can't show you her mods because she's not done. Okay, so this will be another, like, defensive setup of some sort because he's a supporting character. Let me see. So first turn, when I use him on Aaron's, Pete's, and Leopold's, he is going to be commanding Dr. Stevens. The second turn, he's going to be command rushing someone else. So Dale should almost never have to attack. He might if I want to use his defense down or if something funky happens, but for the most part, he is not going to be attacking very much. So I don't want him to be taunted because that happens quite a bit. Let me see, I gotta think here. Defense versus tough because of the trait. I'm going to have a HP mod here. I'm going to go 605 just because Aaron and Pete leads will both have blue tunes behind. Hey, Hard World. I'm trying to think because I'm not going to use him against Mercers. He does have a chance of being stunned, but it would have to be me actively forcing him to be stunned because, again, we don't see many green tunes on defensive teams. He's a red tune, so there's no trade advantage, so it's not like they'll target him because of that trade advantage. So I don't think stun resist is actually needed here. I might go with a bleed resist again right now because there's Mr. Lou's at the moment. I know I'm talking so much about Mr. Lou, it's just that his bleed killed me last time, and he could definitely be behind an Aaron or Leopold lead or even a Pete lead if someone wants. And then this last spot. This is a tough one to think about. I don't care if he becomes impaired. I don't want him to die, and he's pretty weak, so I'm going to leave it at that for now. That I might come back to and revisit, but for the most part, he's just commanding other tunes. So this is my verse defensive leads. So I have Priya and Princess doing the majority of the damage. I have Kenny with his attack up, focus, elusive, neutralize, and a team player weapon. I have Doc for his fast rushing abilities. He's tanked out and has just enough HP that even if he was exhausted, he could still survive. And then I have Dale as my commander for this team. I am going to put together a couple defensive teams just at the moment because I want to get some of these defense mods on before I start with some of my supporting tunes. So Georgia's been on my defensive team a lot. I don't put Princess there because of her taunting ability, which people manipulate and just abuse, to be honest. I'm going to have a melee defensive team as well as a different defensive team. So I'm thinking something like this. I'm thinking something like that, but I also have Sheila that I could throw in because Rosita, I just got her and she's definitely not close to being done. So let me move around some weapons. Nope, you know what? I won't do the weapons yet. What do you think about the 10% rush over the 1535? You mean the 10% healing? Or 10% rush? I'm sorry, I'm a little confused about which craft you're talking about. There's just a lot of different crafts, and 10% rush, like 10% rush damage. Hi, XX Chris. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Okay, so this is one of my defensive teams that I do currently run, except here I sometimes have Sheila in instead. And the reason why I like Sheila is because her active skill is pretty useful, heal reduction and impair recovery. Her rush, I like that she can revive as well as heal, and no bound weapon. Yes, I do think the S-Class Clementine with the bear, with Brutus, would work as a decent team. 10% rush, 4th slot. Hold on, guys. I need to go and take a look at this one. Sorry, even I get forgetful with some things. Not reduce. It'll be this, I think. Increase rush damage by 10%. I'm not a huge fan of it because it's like if you do that on a Rav, for example, and a Rav rushes at 700%, instead of it being like 770%, it's actually only 710%, I believe. So, and that's like off of the rush portion. So hold on, let me bring up a Rav. Wherever he is. Oh, 750. So instead of being 750%, which would be, 825% with the 10% increase, because 750% plus 75, is 825. It would instead be like 760%, which is a small amount that's added to it, so not significant to me, at least. So this is a melee defensive team, by the way. As I mentioned, I want to mod my Georgia first. Now, the reason I mod Georgia first, even though she's not the first toon, she's not the leader or anything, she's the tankiest toon that I have, and I want her to cause problems for people. Lots of problems. Yes, what Webb said, exactly that. Hey Shani, welcome to the stream. Welcome everyone again to the stream. So I'm modding Georgia first because she is the tankiest toon I have on my defensive team. As soon as I saw her in WOC, I was like, this toon needs to be on my defensive team because her stats, if we take a look, like maxed out stats, I think her stats are identical to Trader's. So she's a tank. I like her active skill. Removing focus is huge. Bonus HP, I'm not a fan of bonus HP. The 50% AP is kind of nice. And then her rush, just confusing multiple enemies. Minus 50% attack as well, which a lot of people don't mod against attack down unless they're going up against a Javier lead. And the 1500 bleed damage for 3 turns, that's exactly like Mr. Lou, except that's on his active skill. And he gains AP. She gains AP, sorry. So, tanky character, and the type of weapon that I've built her really influences the types of mods that I'm going to use on her. So like here, I want a defense while stunned. I do not care if she is stunned, confused, taunted, impaired, as long as she's alive. And there are different ways that I can help that. So let me see. I wanted a higher bleed resist, but I guess I have to go with 59%. Did I miss? Did I use my highest bleed resist already? No, I just don't have one in this set. That's fine. That is fine. Let me just take a look. Do I not have a heal resistance? Did I do it in defensive set last time? Hold on, guys. Sorry, I just need to see my mods. Yeah. There's the 75% resistance. Not exactly ideal here, but this is actually tough because if I go with defense, so let's say I go with this defensive set, bleed resist, for example, because Mr. Loos are super annoying on attack. We'll go with this because of melee defense. People might use like very offensive characters like Krista or the Gentleman. Last spot for this would be something like heal reduction resistance, which is right there. And I just want to see if I have another heal reduction resistance mod that is better, because I will definitely break set for a higher percentage. 65% is what I have. 65%. And sorry, I'm not really looking at questions at the moment. I'm kind of just trying to focus on what I'm seeing. I don't think I have another one, really. Huh, that's interesting. So, I'm just double checking. Yeah, okay. Must have got rid of a lot of them, but this is the general mod set that I'm thinking of. Something else that I could do that I've contemplated is taking off his bleed resistance and putting on a defense down resistance, because a lot of people do try to defense down her to kill her, and I'm guessing that's more frequent than Mr. Lou at the moment. Like, there's not much I can do against him. Okay, hold on, sorry. Can you show us S-Class Sheila team you have created? Yeah, I can show you one of the teams that I have of them. The lifesteal mod on Georgia? No, I don't want to use the lifesteal mod on Georgia, because honestly, with her kit, the way she's set up, 50% AP, 50% AP, she's going to be rushing a lot, meaning she shouldn't be attacking a lot. And I could use this lifesteal mod here, but a lot of people try to put status effects on Georgia, including stun. Like, some people run stun on attack, or rushes are stunning, or she attacks a red toon and ends up being stunned. So with this specific mod set, I have this weapon for her. Heal 10% at the start of each turn for each debuff on this character. A debuff, by the way: attack down, defense down, normalize, daze, stun, confuse, impair, taunt, normalize. I think I said normalize. Really, bleed, burn, exhaust, trauma. Basically anything you can think of is considered a debuff, so this is a way to help her rush again and again. Well, not rush, but heal again and again and again. And that's why the HP on this weapon is higher than the defense. And when you attack it, you have a chance to become defense downed. She also has this nice skill, Vitality. So based on the amount of unspent adrenaline she has, she regains HP. And because of her rush and active skill giving her 50% AP, she can heal quite a bit. And as we're noticing, she has 10,000 HP and 10,000 defense. So she is very tanky, and probably my favorite toon on my defensive team at the moment. Idea for S-Class Clementine as leader in the bear. Let me just write this out. So I'm thinking Clem leads, so that's 25% plus and minus 25%. Brutus, I would say alpha on the team. You would need a command toon. You don't have to use a Dr. Stevens here. Like, I'm thinking Alpha and Brutus do enough damage as is. Clem is good for getting rid of positive effects. Command toon to help bring the whole team together. And then the last spot, it's kind of a flex spot. So the last spot, save changes. The last spot, I'm just going to scroll through. You could use a Rav. You could definitely use a Rav on that type of team. You could use someone like Ivanova because of her focus. Who else could you use? Yeah, sorry, I don't have that many tunes to really go through, but you do have a number of different choices, but something like Clem, Brutus, Alpha, and Command with a flexible last spot is definitely useful. Is the bear better than a Rav? That's tough to compare. Like, what I like about Brutus... Hold on, I'm going to bring Brutus up. What I like about Brutus is that he's a normalized character. Normalize is huge. Like, normalize is so overpowered in the game, especially because we don't have a normalized resistance mod. When you can normalize characters, you can really, like, do anything. He has a nice follow-up ability. His rush does a high amount of damage. And crosshairs the enemies he doesn't kill. And then when he attacks, he gets a guardian shield, but also gains an enormous amount of attack against characters that have less than 25% of their HP. So if they survived his initial attack, if they're dexterity or something like that, well, he's going to finish them off, and he's protected because of the shield. I never got to finish modding this team. This is going to be a long stream, it seems, guys. Up on my head with my Jason's active skill sword, and now I leveled up the active and it was fixed. Awesome. The new Lee is definitely interesting. Yes, I have the Paragon mod. I liked Lee, to be honest. I don't want to talk about him right now because I have so many characters to mod. Willie is the next one I want to mod because I have a decent weapon for him. Now, I want to give him this lifesteal mod. Now, the reasoning is because of his overheal ability. So, with the Lifesteal Paragon mod, he gains 800 HP every turn every time he attacks because it's a heal on attack mod. So, that 800 will always work towards him, and it can sometimes overheal him, so give him that bonus HP, which is nice. His active skill I did not level because I'm using him on the defensive team. His rush I did because he can stun, apply trauma, heal reduction, and then he gains 100% HP, and none of that HP goes to waste. Well, some of it does because of overheal, but less because of overheal, if that makes sense. So his mod setup is going to be something like this. We're going to give him an HP mod here. We are going to give him... let me think. He's healing every turn. Basically. He has a decent rush, but he's not going to hurt anyone if he's confused. So he might get the bleed resistance here, actually. Yeah, we're going to go with that. That seems good to me. And then here, defense is high. When defense is high, it means reflect damage will not reflect as much. We could do something like this and give him a defense while confused. That way we have defense when stunned on Georgia and defense while confused on Willie, so that it's a nice split. So something like that is decent. And what I did with his weapon, I have his normal weapon, which the HP failed on me twice, but that's okay. Or didn't crit twice, but I got the heal 10% at the start. Now, if I want a windowless team, I have a weapon very similar to Georgia's that's a little bit lower, but is still pretty effective, and that tanks him out to 84 and 72. So that's a decent weapon that I like putting on him. I find it makes him harder to take down, so like Georgia and Willie are my main defensive tunes on this specific team. Thank you, Hard World. You have a powerful day yourself. Why no defense mod for Georgia? You want her to be tanky? Because I'm more worried about unnatural ways of taking her down. So exhaust, for example, would be a big way because her 50% AP gain on her rush as well as her active skill. 50%, so that's 5 by 10, so five intervals or whatever of 500 from like Angel. That's 2,500 maim damage each time. So having a high HP is important so that it can counteract that a bit, as well as bleed. So if someone runs, let me think. Let's say they have 2 Mr. Lose on attack.
That's 3,000 bleed over 3 turns. That's 9,000 bleed total, but she's healing each time after that. So she might be okay, right? Because she's healing 10% because she's bleeding, so that's about 1,000 each turn. So with it being a flat amount, having a higher amount of HP is definitely valuable when we start to consider methods of damaging toons that are flat. So by flat I mean like maim damage, burn damage, trauma, bleed. So that's why I have her HP being high. Minus 50 would be nice on that weapon. Yes, minus 50 would be great on that weapon. Okay, the next character that I think I'm going to do... You know what, I'm going to talk about my Rosita for a second. I don't know if I'm going to mod her right... You know what, I will mod her right away. But she's a bide 2 character. I have not leveled up her active skill because I've done videos about this. I've explained that attack up when taunted is huge. And I don't want her to be that liability. So if someone wants to wait until turn 4 for her to do that, which would be turn 5 on the offensive team, I'm fine with that. It means you've wasted an additional, or used up an additional like 1 or 2 turns. So that to me is a positive. Her rush, I like her rush. This character regains up to 50% of their max HP for 2 turns. So that helps against like infection and stuff. Recovers from normalized, so her bide would still work. 2 teammates get some bonus HP, but the 50% bonus defense is nicer. With a bide character, every time she takes in 2,000 damage, she will release 3,000 damage back out as a flat amount. So with a character like this, we want HP mods. We're going to try some high ones. She already has a reflect weapon on her, but I'm going to add a reflect mod in case they disarm her. Or just like multiple ways of applying damage back. So bide is almost like a reflected damage. Her weapon is reflected, and then her mod is also reflected. I'm thinking here. There's a lot of thinking that goes on during all this, guys. Sorry about that. It doesn't matter if she's taunted into someone. Again, I'm thinking almost bleed resistance. Like, I'm thinking so much. I'm so focused on Mr. Liu right now, it's not even funny. Not a lot of strong toons. There are a few, though. Like, I'm thinking Alpha. But she would disarm the weapon, but not disarm the mod. Or the bide. So that's going to be okay, I think, actually. Yeah, I think that's going to be okay. So we're going to go with defense versus tough. And the last spot, we are going to go with 3,000 defense is not that high. But I don't want it to be that high. I want more HP anyway. See, this is always the hard part. It's always hard picking out mods, but like I'm trying to explain to you guys part of my thought process behind it. Grays would be counterintuitive. Honestly, maybe just a lifesteal mod. See, the thing is with lifesteal mods, although they're pretty lame, they do take a longer time to animate. Like, they take longer to animate, aka it takes more time when it actually goes off, so might just do that for now. She's not set up the way I want her to, like I just got her. She's stuck at this level because I don't have a gear. Like, look at this. I have all of these, but it's just I don't want to open the boxes. Yes, I'm lazy, but then I'm really low on these, the watches and the radios. So that kind of sucks at the moment. She's stuck. Her weapon, she's in a stuck position. I guess now I can go on to Aaron. Now, his weapon bothers me. I don't like the bonus HP, and because it's like it makes him a window for the team. And I also am annoyed that I got team player. I wanted to get fast healing, but it's hard to get rid of team player because you're like, it took me so long to get this. So instead, I'm going to go with a windowless team and use impenetrable defense, which still has a team player on it. Now, with Aaron, we have a decent rush, 58 AP, which is solid. Doesn't do a lot of damage, but it lowers the attack and it lowers the AP, so it prevents rushes a bit. Active skill, I'm kind of annoyed that I leveled it because of the attack up when impaired methods. But I don't mind the elusive, so could be worse. That could definitely be worse. With this character, I'm going to go more of a defensive set, I think. Well, no, with Impen, because people can apply flat damage. I need to go with an HP set, actually. HP set. So we're going to go with this. Going to go with... We're thinking, because an alpha would be used here, so the mod would be good. I like his rush, so I want him to rush. Here, I'm thinking specifically alpha. So, defense versus strong. And then last spot, because he's going to be avoiding some things. He can still be neutralized, but hopefully the impair resistance will help. If he attacks someone else, he's not really applying any damage, so there's no risk for that. No, maybe an AP drain. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do with Aaron right now. Bit of a tankier setup as well. AP drain, which can be useful for, like, his whole kit is kind of about preventing the enemy from being able to rush, impairing them, AP draining them, so that's what I'm going to continue with. And now we finally get to Leopold, and the weapon I'm giving her is either this one or this one. And I almost feel like this might be better for now. So Leopold's pretty slow with rushing. Oh wow, I have not even... Yeah, that's my bad. I don't... Hold on, let me see. Does this... It can apply to everyone, but it's just... 300 exhaust is so low to me. And it's usually a little slow based on, like, Dr. Stevens stuff. Okay, at least I leveled her rush now, so that's not a big deal. She's better. We're gonna go with a... No, her weapon is more defensive, which means we have to go with HP. I try to counterbalance things as much as I can. With Leopold, maybe something like this. And I'm going to explain it in just a second. Sorry guys, sometimes I just get so focused on what's in front of me, I kind of tune out the rest of it. And I'm going to go with this. Actually, we'll go with the higher one. No, that doesn't make sense. That's a bad mod choice. Ignore me right there, guys. That's what you call not looking at everything else that you have. This is what I want, and taunt resist. So, defense versus alert because she's weak to that. HP because I like tunes with more HP than defense, and the weapon that I have, it has a defensive buff on it but not an HP buff. Reflect damage to reflect some of the damage back if someone rushes her. Taunt resist as well as a stun resist. And to me, this is the type of mod set I want because she's giving a huge bonus to AP when taking damage to all these characters, meaning they're more likely to rush if someone uses a splash. Yeah, Dad?
Lulu's outside your door here.
Okay.
Can I open the door for her to come in?
Yep.
Look, everybody else is out of the house, so.
Okay.
Thanks.
See you, Dad.
Bye-bye.
Hey, Lou. Sorry, guys.
If you're tidying up your room and go and take that garbage down, that'd be awesome.
Okay, Dad. Sorry, guys. Anyway, as I was saying, like, this type of defensive team, I have it planned out to be a bit tankier because I want people to waste a bit of time on it. Now, this is not kind of like the tricky defense that I have, and I call it a tricky defense because the other defense that I run has Eric as a leader. Now, I think this bothers people. I feel like it would bother me, at least. But there's a lot of people who have actually bounced off of my Eric defensive lead. And a lot of it is just timing out. And the reason behind it is because I'm using Eric for his leader skill. The 40% HP and 40% defense is a huge boost. And it can be super annoying on some teams because toons just get too tanky, basically. Like if I add this weapon to Georgia, she has almost 11,000 defense and over 11,000 HP. That's a lot to end up taking down, and this is something that I like to do where I find toons that fit specific roles. So I'm not looking for, oh, it has to be an S-class character or something. I'm looking for a toon that can fill a specific role and complete a job. So to me, Eric is very good for this because, bye Lulu, because of his leadership skill. It seems almost ridiculous in some ways, and it kind of is, but it works for me. So this is the type of defensive team that I would throw up. I could also throw like Leopold in there, for example, because she can be annoying when she starts to rush, but it's all about if she starts to rush. And kind of making a windowless team. I also like throwing in Frost though. So I'm just thinking, I like the stun weapon on Mercer, makes him unique. I can use Frost in here and put Georgia in a line. But this type of weapon would be this, because I don't like impair weapons, as I mentioned before. And yeah, thank you, Mo. I'm doing all right. I've just been working quite a bit. As a lot of you know, I have a new job at Scopely, so I've been focusing a lot on working hard, well, to make the game better for all of you guys. So I thank you for your time and your patience with me. Like, I have a lot of ideas. It's just hard to get everything down onto paper and then onto a video and have everything going exactly the way you want it to. With him, I expect him to die. So I might just throw this on him because, you know, he's going to give away AP no matter what. No matter what he does, he's giving away AP, and that almost makes me want to just use Willie's natural weapon. Let me see. Yeah, he gets more HP with his natural weapon, less defense, but I might try that. Just because he's healing a lot. Yeah, and I'm thinking this only because Eric's probably going to die in the first turn. No matter what I do, he's probably going to die in the first turn. At least with this way, he might be able to heal some toons. Maybe. So Eric is like the last toon that I'm going to mod. I want to mod my Frost up. So I'm thinking HP set. I'm thinking defense when stunned. I'm thinking, no, I don't need that high of a confused resist on him, actually. I want a taunt resist on him. That's what I want. 65% taunt resist. Defense first fast, and then I'll increase his his defense. What's my highest one? 575, I think. 620. So this is the type of setup I have for Frost. I'm just trying to make him a tank. I don't want him to be taunted. Defense when stunned. So kind of just a general setup. You want to create a tanky shield. You want him to be shielding as much as you can. With Confuse, it's like I want to save some of my Confuse resistance mods for my attack team, even if they're offset. Because Jackie teams, I hate the RNG. I don't have a Michonne yet to reduce the RNG. So I need to play smart. And in that case, if I had a defense when confused, an extra one, it would be decent to put there. Even a reflect damage mod isn't bad. But because I'm lowering people's attack because of his weapon, it makes less sense. Sorry guys, you can kind of hear my thought process as I talk it out about why I do certain things. Defense, defense. We can do a defense here. We can do an attack mod. And lastly, I'm trying to think about what other teams. I can use them on defense. I can use them on attack. Oh, what's the most efficient way to get Ulysses so I can upgrade my traders active and replace Glenn with trader? That's a great question. I'm not exactly sure, to be honest. Events mainly, like missions and stuff. But personally, I would not max out your trader's active skill completely. I would leave it as a initial cooldown turn 2, because then you can create a turn 1 rushing defensive team with trader in it. And if trader rushes on the first turn, he is attack downing, heal reduction, and taunting tunes into an infection weapon. But again, that is just my opinion. And lastly, for this spot, I'm just going to give him some HP. So he's a little tanky. So this is what I have going on right now. Georgia's super tanky, Willie's pretty tanky, Frost is okay. And Eric, there's not much I can do for him. If anything, I actually want him to die pretty quickly so that he doesn't, whoops, sorry guys. And that did not turn off my stream right now. So, you know what, maybe defense, so that way waste not stuff, so it reduces the amount of damage I actually take. Yeah, that seems like the most logical thing to do. So, we're going to give you 575. Do we have a reflect? We do have a reflect. Reflect. Doesn't really matter if he's stunned or anything like that. Oh, there is one thing I don't want to happen to him. Let me see. Hold on. I'm going to explain this in just a second. I just need to make sure that I have it. Do I not have one? So what I'm trying to do right now, sorry guys. I want a defense down resist right here. And I don't know if I have one that I'm not using. So that means I might have to go back and take one from a different tune. Which isn't the worst thing in the world. But it is a little annoying. Okay, let me see who has them. I know I just did this on my tunes, but I can't remember. So there's 2. What's this? Hold on, let me apply that first and then go down here. Oh, yeah, you're losing that. Okay. There we go. It's offset, but that's okay. The reason why I'm doing a defense down resist is because if someone wants to use a waste not tune, right, and they want to defense down this tune first, then they're doing a lot of adjacent damage. So the reason why I'm tanking it out with like HP stuff is so that there's less damage being actually applied that can be carried over to someone else. Buenos dias, Diego. And buenas tardes, buenas noches to anyone else in the world. I had an Allen going off? Oh, alarm. No, sorry guys. That was me. My bad. Here, honestly, I just want him to be a little tanked out. You know, like even just adding this to add additional defense. His HP, Eric's going to die. I don't care if he dies. If anything, I want him to kind of die so that he doesn't like keep feeding the enemy. So yeah, that's kind of what I want to set it up as. So that's my other defensive team. So as you see, like they're pretty similar. There's nothing really special about them. I modded my Mercer, right? Yeah. Okay, and then for the last team, it's kind of just a mixture of the other ones, and it's like I can fluctuate in a bunch of different characters. Like I can put Leopold in here, If I wanted to, I could put Sheila in here. I'd have to mod her, but she's not modded right now, so I'm going to leave her. Like, just something like that. I could use Angel as well, but I'd have to mod her. But overall, it would be a fairly simple... Shoot, I keep moving things around. But it would be a fairly simple team. Like, and in this case, I could do like an impair weapon, so then it's windowless. So that would be another example. So those would be my 3 defensive teams. This is versus defensive leads. We are going to go... Sorry, I'm just crossing it off. True defensive leads. Oh, we can do a quick one versus attacking leads. So, versus attack leads. And when I see an attacking lead, I think, oh, let's try to hit them up on turn 1. And we are going to go with... I gotta think about how this team is set up, actually. Bear with me. Could use you, actually, here. Don't actually want to use Nick here. Wait, let me check his active skill. Actually, is it a turn 2? No, it's a turn 3. Yep, so that means I want to use Maggie here. Command Maggie. Command Maggie? I thought I saw her. Yeah, so this one here. And then finally, Mercer. So this is versus offensive leads. If there's an offensive lead team on defense, then I want to rush on the first turn. Plain and simple. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Rick, I have no idea what I've done with your weapon so far. Okay, just tanked you out a little. Cool. Here, actually, I need this weapon. Nope, I need this weapon on you, and I need 8% here. And hold on, let me actually test that because I need to make sure that my math is right. One of the best ways of doing things is trial and error. Active, command, basic attack. Active, basic attack, cool, everyone can rush. I actually might not need the other 8% weapon. And that's I actually don't think I do. I'm pretty sure I don't. An easy way to check that is just subbing him out for someone like Glenn and using this weapon. And we're just gonna see. Yep, and we're all good. So that just means that we don't have to use all 3 8% AP weapons. We just need the 2. I can do it by hand and math it, but sometimes it's just funner to trial and error it, test it out, right? So I'm thinking, yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad the way it is, to be honest. Ideally, I'd want an 8% AP weapon with team player so that Priya would get a higher attack boost, but this still works well enough, especially against a attacking lead defensive team. Now for this, I wouldn't even need to mod my command tunes. I'm actually not going to mod them on this particular team. I will mod them in a different team, but they're not priorities, because if the only reason I'm using them is because they're command tunes or they hold an 8% AP weapon, why mod them if the match is going to be done after the first turn? So this is used against a very specific team, of course. And also I'm just going to set that as defense for now. So I have versus attack leads now. Against Mercer leads, I honestly just go something like this. So I'm going to reuse a lot of my tunes. Like I have a stun resist. Oh, no stun resist on this one, so instead I'm going to go with my second princess. And a command tune? Yeah, a command tune. So the command tune I would use here, and now I would mod it, would be Glenn. Sorry, guys. Oh, what mods would you put on a Jackie S defense? It depends on the other tunes behind it. Jackie gives a 50% HP bonus already, so you could go with defense, or you could go with more HP to enhance the amount, like that that the team actually has. High OT, we're facing in war, awesome. Hope to see you on the battlefield. Not sure if it's with everyone, however, in SR, when Jackie or Pete selected as leader, it shows reduced HP on SR page when all players have full HP. It shows full HP, though when you play, seems like a glitch. If you want to send me video of that, that'd be helpful. I'm a little confused. It shows reduced HP on SR page. I don't know what you mean by reduced HP on the SR page. When all players have full HP. I'm a little confused. If you could send me a picture or a video, that would be great. Hey Pedro, welcome to the live stream. To break through the thought process, you seem pretty consumed. Yes, I am very consumed. I get very focused on what I'm doing, which is both a good thing and a bad thing. Okay, so with this particular team, I'm going to go with Princess first, offensive mod setup. I want to stun resist here, so 61 is good. On this one, I could still go with like attack up when taunted, to be honest, because whenever she's taunted, I want her to kill. Now, when I'm going Mercer versus Mercer, we know that there's probably going to be blue and green tunes, but the likelihood of seeing green tunes is low. We're going to see some blue tunes, so attack first tough. Let me think, actually. Yeah, we can go pretty offensive here. And then I don't like how low her HP is in this case. So we're going to go with this, an HP mod. That way, if there's any exhaust or anything, she has a chance of, not dying from it. So, general mod setup right there. Again, stun resist because she's being used against a Mercer defensive team. So specifically, like I have two princesses, I'm going to mod them slightly differently so that they can combat in different situations. And then finally this Glenn, we're going to give him that team player weapon. So I have him situated beside my princess to give her an attack boost, and I have Doc situated beside Priya to give her an attack boost, and both Doc and Glenn are adjacent to Mercer, which gives him an attack boost. I do not want to put Princess and Priya in the same line because they don't have team player 4 on their weapons. If I put Dr. Stevens and Glenn in the same line, so beside each other, put Dr. Stevens where Princess is, they're giving each other plus 15% attack and plus 35 crit chance, which is not very useful. So the positioning of your tunes also does matter. So just be aware of that. With Glenn, I'm going to go with an HP setup. Actually, we might go with a defensive setup. Yeah, because we want him to have a high stun resistance, 65%. We don't want him to die, so we're going to give him a graze. We want to give him more HP, so the 525. We're expecting to see both strong and tough tunes, more likely going to see tough tunes. I guess I could use that one here. I'm just trying to think. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, that's fine. Sorry, I was just looking over my notes. And then finally, I also don't... Well, Mercer lead. We're not going to see tunes that can confuse. I don't want him taunted. Well, actually, if he's taunted, he's not going to do a lot of damage, which means he's not going to give away a lot of AP. And he has a stun weapon, so he could stun the enemy. So him being taunted isn't bad. Him being confused is. But I need to save some of these confused resistances when I make my anti-Jackie team. He's going to be commanding a lot. See, this is the tough part sometimes where it's like you're just unsure of that last specific mod. I guess I can just go with a defense mod. It's not very wow, but it will definitely help him survive. So Generation 1 6-star. So look at his stats. 2700 HP, 4100 defense. He's not great. Oh, Mercer attack team. Mercer attack team. But he does do the job well. Let's see. So down through the Mercer attack team, time for a Jackie attack team. Oh, yeah. So we're thinking like this. You have a stun, confuse, resist, so you're good. Did I give Kenny that? No, I did not give Kenny, so I'm just... Hold on, I'm thinking here. I'm actually going to switch this. So, although Kenny is very good about, like, being in this verse defensive leads, right? He isn't needed in this specific position. Instead, I'm going to put him on my Jackie team. Yeah, so you are going to get this mod. You're going to lose this. I'm going to give you something else there. But Kenny's off of this team because he's more valuable in a different team for me. I can use a different attack up tune here. Like, heck, I can go back and use Alice again. I definitely could, actually. Hold on, let me think about this. Because I want a tune that can focus on a lot of defensive teams. We don't see offensive tunes that'll hit as hard. If anything, they'll go for a tanky setup. So we're going to give you some HP mods. And slot you up on this team. We don't want you to get stunned, so that's fine. AP drain. Nope, this. This is what I want to do. Yeah, okay. Because on the first turn, I want to attack so that I gain AP. So, an impair resistance. Yeah. So, a high impair resistance. So, Alice made this team instead. Her defense is super low right now. But I just need her to survive the first turn. That's it. If she can survive the first turn, I'm going to be okay. Just thinking here. Against Aaron, Pete's, and Leopolds, the most common thing is impair. I need high HP though, because if I hit like a Shiva and I bleed myself. Leopold's exhaust, they're stun. So you might not need this stun one actually. So I'm actually going to swap these. Yeah, sorry, lots of movement going on here. It's just as I think about it, things change so quickly. Because I do want to give her some defense because, again, 6-star tune. So I like that a bit better. So Kenny is coming down onto this team because he's going to be more effective and because Jackie teams can be more offensive at times. And that's one of the dangers. Like Jackie teams, you can sometimes find them fast rushing with a Robs, for example, or you can find them with a bunch of traders. You can see Mr. Lose. It's crazy. Hi Alpha. Yep, I've been a content creator for this game for, I don't know, maybe a couple years now? Maybe? Or a year? I'm not exactly sure. Mo, yep, you can definitely share this. There should be a button that says share, like, below the actual video feed. Or there's 3 dots that you can click, and then there should be a share function. I hope that helps you. So, okay, last slot here. I'm thinking an AP drain, because sometimes I'm going to use Kenny anyway to try to AP drain the enemy. On a Jackie team, I know I just put this impair resistance on him. Actually, no, I did that before. Sorry, the mic is caught in my hair. So, with this specific tune, we're thinking Jackie lead, there's traders, There's lose. Because there's lose, this tells me I need a bleed resistance mod because Kenny can bring tunes back. He can bring tunes back from the dead. So this is the setup I want because I am going to risk it that, well, Jackie, if she has a bound weapon, we know it's the stun and confuse resistance. We'll sometimes see her with a 20% weapon so that she can rush on the first turn. On occasion, she has an absolute defense weapon. And there's not much we can do about that. But I definitely want to give Kenny a chance. So with this confused resistance, it's helpful. I'm not going to neutralize anyone on my team. I can use his active skill on the first turn, which gives him 50% AP. And hopefully I can combo that with Dr. Stevens, wherever he is. So he is a confused resistance. This is where I change it to fast healing because I expect on Jackie defensive teams to have traitors and infection and stuff. So this is where I'm going to use either Nick or Maggie. And where's Nick? Where is Nick? Let's see. With Nick's case, his rush isn't bad. The minus 15 AP, the MAME isn't anything to write home about. The focus is decent, but in all honesty, I prefer Maggie here. And let me grab Maggie. Let me grab Maggie and then I'll bring up her kit to explain why. So I like this Maggie better against a Jackie team with traitors and stuff because when she rushes, she can heal everyone on the team for 35% over 2 turns and give some defense, which is valuable because of infection, of course. And then she has a good active skill where she can recover from impair. So to me, Maggie is a great tune to use here. I can use like this type of weapon, impenetrable defense, as well as slow. Now there is a danger here because like against Jackie teams, if my own tunes attack her, they could end up slowed and stuff. But at the same time, like I like the 15% and 35 crit, which will impact Princess as well as Priya. So this is kind of like my ideal setup at the moment. Except I haven't modded Maggie yet. So I'm actually going to go here first and see what type of confused resistance mods I have. To see if there's anything in HP or defense that would work well for me. First. Okay, so I have a defensive one that's decent. Let me think. She's not going to be hit very much because of her impenetrable defensive weapon. She's not going to be attacking much. She's mostly going to be commanding or rushing. So the AP drain is not intuitive either. Honestly, just doing like a defense when stunned, maybe? And then HP is always valuable. And defensive setup. So we don't see a lot of reds on defenses that are hard hitting, but there are some yellows, which means this makes more sense. And then finally, let me see. Just thinking. Give me 1 second. I could go with defense, but I feel like I don't want her to be taunted. Yeah, I don't want her to be taunted because this is specifically against traitors, for example. So I don't mind if he's taunted as much. I don't want him to bleed out because he can revive other tunes. I don't want Doc confused. But hold on. But he could still bleed out. And that's the main issue that I have. And I don't want him to bleed out. As long as he's not confused on the first turn, then Kenny can rush for the second turn and bring him back if needed. With Maggie, I have her set up so that I don't want her confused, but then I don't want her taunted by traitor in case it's a turn 1 defensive traitor team. I have attack up when taunted to hopefully do some damage against traitor. And then I have Priya. Ideally, if I had a second Priya, I would have attack up when taunted on her. Okay, so that's what I'm going to go with for now. So right now I have defensive team 1, defensive team 2, defensive team 3, versus true defensive leads, versus attack leads, versus Mercer leads, versus Jackie leads. Okay. Cool. I'll try that in a second, and I'll just keep modding my tunes. Sorry guys, there's so many things to mod and my head's going like woo. I have not shown the Sheila team. Like, the thing is, Sheila kind of just rotates into these 3 teams that I have. And I was thinking about actually moving her out of a team just because I have Rosita now. But, like, she could go in here instead of Leopold, and, hold on, I can do a quick mod version of her. But, let me think. I'll probably go with this, to be honest, because, no, this. Actually, Mercer lead, it has to be this one because Mercer doesn't give HP or defense. I would give her probably defensive mod set, 520. I feel like she's a tune where attacking is a good thing for her. Give her stun resist. Mercer team, so I'm expecting yellows mostly to be attacking this team, to be honest. Oh, wrong one. This. And I could go with a defensive mod. I don't mind if she is taunted as much. It's not the worst thing. Confused doesn't matter very much. She's not hitting very hard. I do want her to rush. She gets rid of heal reduction on her active skill. So, you know what? Maybe a taunt resist, actually. I'm just thinking. Because she would still have a chance to be able to rush, and then she can revive as well as heal and apply some bleed damage. So that's something that I'm thinking of. That's kind of my thought process. What do you use for double Lou teams with Jackie lead? See, this is what I'm kind of contemplating on right here. Because it's like, I have a bleed resist on Princess. I have a bleed resist on Kenny. I have confused resists on all of them. I'm thinking, and again, this is just me thinking, I haven't been able to try it yet, and unfortunately on this stream I won't. Now, like, I don't want to give away people's defensive teams and stuff like that, but I'm thinking, even if I have a tune or 2 bleed out on the first turn, as long as it's not Princess or Kenny, it means that I am using Kenny to revive someone else who can then make an action on the next turn. Like, everyone is over 3,000 HP, which is helpful. But I'm also thinking, like, if I am able to get Princess and Kenny to rush by the second turn, which is really easy, I use Kenny's active skill, I attack with Princess, and then I command rush my Dr. Stevens so the AP goes to Kenny and Princess. Even if 1 or 2 of my tunes die on that first turn from the bleed and additional attacks, I can rush Kenny, which will bring back a tune, right? I have Princess who's ready to rush, so I can either use her active skill, but I'm also focused and I have attack of 75% attack up. So I'm focused, I can normalize, I can rush and kill a line. I have 1 tune brought back, so if it's Maggie, it means I can rush and then also command Princess to use her active skill to control. I have, if it's Dr. Stevens, he might be able to rush again. I can't remember if he gets AP based on damage taken, like off of a natural AP or a natural death. If it's Priya, you know, she's not going to be bleeding anymore. She has a guardian shield. I could attack and gain some AP. Possibly kill some tunes. So this is kind of what I'm thinking of. Again, I need to test it. Like, this is really the tricky part here. I'm also thinking about maybe having another team. Something like using Lily and a Rov. I'm just thinking because I can mod that team specifically against the bleed. Worry less about the confuse and focus on the bleed damage that I'll probably be taking. A Rov also has the active skill to recover bleed. So it's an idea for now. Let's see. The next team I want to go over would be my, hold on, let me label it, anti-Angel team. So I end up going back to Diego. Diego is just a constant for me. And I find that with most angel teams, they don't rush very fast. Where's green alpha? You know what, there's an easier way of doing this. Here we go. So we're going to throw in green alpha to this team. We are going to use princess. Yeah, this princess. Maybe this princess. I'm just thinking angel. Angel can have a variety of different tunes behind her, but princess is always a good choice to me. I like Ivanova in this team for her focus. And then I like a command tune. So I can either go with Glenn, but he only has stun resist. The other option would be bringing in a different commanding tune. And the one I would bring in would be Sadiq. And I will explain why. So I like Sadiq because his rush, 66 AP. A teammate gains 50% AP. Oh, actually no, not against Angel then. That's funny. So this is actually a terrible idea because of that 50% AP. Okay, disregard what I just said, guys. Sometimes you gotta say it to see it. So Slater might be the better option here. Oh, apparently I haven't leveled part of him up. So he's fine to level up all the way. He can revive, which is useful. Team player weapon on Diego. Here I will give a crit stun weapon because she's a disarming tune. And here just I can either go with like a splash weapon, but I don't really want to give away AP. So even just a stun on attack weapon works well. So with this type of team, like truth is, angel teams usually don't rush very fast. I've made a video on how to make a fast rushing angel team, but it's just so easy to counter some fast rushing teams just by using a payback tune on attack. And everyone has payback tunes at this point. So with this type of team, like the main damage is coming from Princess as well as Ivanova. Alpha has a great defense down, but she also is a disarming tune. And that's the main reason why I'm using her here. Like otherwise I wouldn't have to, because like Diego has an amazing defense down as well as a focus. But what I like about Alpha, like disarm is huge in the game. It's always going to be huge. Like I don't expect this Alpha to do a lot of damage. Instead, I want her to survive. So let's see if this levels up half decently. No, 2.5 to start. I'm going to ignore that. Give her HP. AP down. We're against angel teams, so she doesn't need a stun resist. She's never going to trigger a weapon effect. I don't want her to be confused. I don't have any great confused resistance mods, though. She's taunted, again, not the worst thing ever, so I guess just a half okay confused resistance. And then angels on defense, we might see some fast tunes. And here, just an HP mod. Because she's not going to be applying damage for me. She is a supporting tune. She is helping me control at least that first turn. Because if I can get that disarm off on the first turn, I'm in a very good position. Let me see. I need to mod my Ivanova. So if this, I can go offensive. Like I could go very offensive if I wanted to. And I'm actually going to give her an offset mod, because it's going to be a higher value. So she can stun on attack. I'm going to give her attack up when taunted, because she can focus. So even if I am taunted, I'm going to be applying a lot more damage. I am going to give her angel teams. What else am I going to see behind angel teams? Yeah, stun resistance is decent. I'm going to want attack versus fast. And See, it's really difficult sometimes to figuring out the last mod you want to put on the tune. Well, because she has a stun and attack weapon, a confused resistance is also solid. I don't exactly want her to hit my own team. Slater, this is just going to be like a standard defensive mod setup. What's his weapon actually? It has HP and defense. So I could go with defense technically. I think I have more mods in that set anyway. This setup. Yeah, I guess a stun resistance as well. Sorry guys, sometimes it's like when you think about it and you look at it, a lot of things just process in my head at the same time, and I'm trying to think about the different combinations that I would need this to work against. And actually, let me see. Okay, that's fine. I was just thinking ahead for when I'm modding my Diego. So, just a typical setup like that. He's kind of a safety blanket, if anything. Yeah, confused resistance, that's fine. Here we're going to go with an HP set because I saw a decent stun resistance mod. Here we want graze. And here we want impair resistance. And here we want either an HP or a defense mod, whatever is higher. I think I saw a pretty high defense mod, and then just top it off with something like that. Actually, defense versus tough is a bit better just because behind an angel team, again, you don't see a lot of hard hitting alert tunes on defense. You do see tough tunes a lot. So this is kind of just a general team. A lot of the damage again from Princess and Ivanova. I'm almost expecting to be taunted, but because I have Ivanova with her focus and attack up, I have defense down abilities, I have a reviving ability. I just feel like I'm well modded against anything that way. Now, the next team that I want to create is against Javier's. And this is going to be unique because Javier's a new tune. I don't know what to expect from him, and that honestly makes me a little nervous because I haven't actually fought one yet. I'm honestly thinking a Clementine lead might be my best method because the defense down will assist me even though my attack is lowered. I'm thinking something like this, where I'm utilizing a Rov, utilizing Ivanova. Like, when I think of Javier, because he's lowering my attack, he's trying to waste time on me. Right? So I need an attack up. So Ivanova does a little bit of that. Clementine does that defense down, which will help. Let me see. Remove all positive status effects from the enemy. Yeah. So because I'm expecting them to be very tanky. Hold on, I need some food. Oh, people are attacking me. Oh, maybe that's why Emin said to switch. Okay, hold on. Emin, I'm switching these for you. Have at it, guys. Have at it. Okay. That's set up for now. I can't remember how much food I actually need. But going down to this other team, we're going to max out this rush, actually. And I like the remove all positive status effects, because if I do that on the center tune, then everything is gone. And that is incredibly important, especially because I imagine people using Javier to make a very defensive team. Hold on, I need to look at Javier. I forget some of these tunes a lot of the time. It's just we have so many new tunes coming in. It's hard to remember absolutely everything. But I feel like he does a rush which gives, 100% defense. It would also get rid of camouflage. So, yeah, Clementine will definitely help. It'll get rid of the defensive bonus. It'll get rid of camouflage. Normalize and stun. That's good to know, actually. So there's normalize and stun that he can do. So he can't normalize Clementine and he can't normalize Ivanova, of course. With this team, I'm going to need Arav to be hard-hitting, of course. There's not really any exhaust tunes that I need to worry about behind Javier, except for like a Leopold, but that's pretty uncommon. I could just give Arav a maim resistance. I definitely want a princess on this team. In the future, Brutus would be better, because Brutus has normalized on his active skill and hits incredibly hard. Again, this team is going to try and waste my time. Let me see Franklin for a second. So high damage dealing, 100% heal reduction, revive, that's not bad, and then the defense down. To be honest, I could try Franklin on this team in lieu of not having Brutus. Now, I'm not a huge fan of this, just because, like, reflect damage, of course. Like, I'm going to want to put in a command tune on this team. Ideally, having a Dr. Stevens would be nice. I feel like I'm almost forced to work with this for now, and having fast healing here. I want to swap this, actually. So the reason why I'm swapping, team player weapon, fast healing. Actually, I'm still not going to use Glenn. I'm going to use, I'm going to use Maggie, so that the fast healing works a little better. And because I can give her this weapon. And then here, I can do the team player weapon. And I've modded Maggie, I've modded Dr. Stevens, I've been modded Clementine, and I have not modded Arav. Attack set makes the most sense. I think I have a high, where's my maim resistance? I think I have a pretty high one. 65 isn't bad. Let me see if there's anything else maim resistance wise. And really it's maim resistance or exhaust resistance. Where are we? Exhaust. Okay, maybe 67%, because it's going to be like I'd rather treat the problem rather than deal with the symptoms of it. Oh, Kenny gun. I have a team player weapon on Kenny's weapon at the moment. Here, I want an attack up when taunted, because I have focus. Here, I want a attack mod, even if it's offset. Here, against Javier, I'm going to go with attack versus strong, specifically for Javier. And here, okay, Javier, stun. Yeah. Because green tunes have stun weapons. So that's the general setup I'd do for Arav. 10,000 attack. Hopefully it's going to be enough. Once he starts to rush, he doesn't really stop. So Dr. Stevens kind of just jump starts him. I have a fast healing weapon on Dr. Stevens, so that's 30% HP to 2 tunes every turn. I have Ivanova, who can focus as well as apply damage, as well as trauma. And you can remove penalties and stuff, or remove positive effects. So you're not doing much, but you are doing something. And see, again, it's all about finding roles for specific tunes. When you can figure out these roles, you're going to be able to make more synergetic teams. And wow, I have been talking for a long time. Javier. Go with that. And yeah, we'll just do that for now. So if you're wondering again why there's like a random veteran ring on Clementine, it's because for those tier up missions and stuff, you need to tier up tunes that are like strong and stuff like that. And the easiest way to tier them up is with veteran rings. Also, guys, I totally forgot about this, but my faction Surprise Mofos, we are recruiting for one European player. If anyone is interested, feel free to, feel free to apply. Feel free to let me know, because we are looking. Okay, so that'll be my Javier team at the moment. I'm trying to think about what else there is. I guess, okay, I do want to create a Lily team. So I'm thinking as a backup plan, which means I would actually change my Arav's mods a little, just a little. It's funny how you can make something and then things change almost immediately when you actually think about like what you're trying to do. Okay, where is Lily? Lily's here. Because this is going to be, let's say there's multiple loos, right? Let's say it's behind a Jackie lead. So that means that there's camouflage involved. Camouflage. Camouflage is super annoying. You don't have a bleed resistance, so that means I need this other one. So those are 2 damage dealers. I don't want them beside each other. I'm going to give you this weapon. AP Drain, Impair, as well as Team Player. And then here, I'm trying to think. So he's bleeding. There's a lot of bleed. There's a lot of confusion going on, but she's modded against that. I still want a command tune. This is bad. I can't remember if my Maggie has confuse resistance or not. Don't get concussions, people. When you get concussions, you forget everything. And then here, I'm just thinking, I know the match is going to take longer no matter what because there's camouflage involved. I need to have a lot of control on this over the defensive team. I have some hard hitters. Ideally, I would want someone who can revive. Do I have a yellow or a blue tune that can revive? Well, the choice would basically be Frost. I don't like running a shield on attack anymore. I don't have a bleed resist on you either, so you're probably going to die. So that's a null point. I don't know if I have something for this. The only thing I can really think of would be running like Slater. But even that's not ideal. Like none of this right now is ideal. Is the bear worth it? Oh. You can try to message support about Willie. And yes, the bear is worth it. The bear is definitely worth it. I really like Brutus a lot. I like that he deals high damage. I like that he normalizes. I like that he can protect himself. Like, just, to me, it's ideal. Like, he's just so good at what he does. He's one of the better free-to-play tunes that we've been getting. If any of you guys has a suggestion, by the way, like I'm thinking about what I could put in here that would be effective. Like I'm almost thinking Franklin just for his revive, but his execute isn't bad either. He doesn't get a bonus, and he's another damage dealer. Like I don't need another damage dealer here. Eric would be kind of a joke. Yeah, that would be kind of a laugh to do. Like I'm trying to think here because there's gonna be bleed that's applied and confuse. I'm even thinking a Douglas isn't bad only because his guardian. So in theory, if I used a Douglas who could heal my team, if I rushed him on the second turn, like, hold on, let me throw him in here for a second. I need to visualize it. If I rushed him on the second turn, everyone would heal 35%. I would taunt tunes into him, which would probably kill him, but everyone would have a defensive bonus. It's really only to delay it long enough so that I can apply damage. On that first turn, if I apply that shield, the shield goes to the tunes with the lowest HP, which would be Douglas as well as Maggie. I definitely want Maggie to get the shield because her being a command tune is, like, it's just imperative that she gets the shield. I forgot, with a Rob, I could leave him with his normal weapon because I don't need him to have the 20% AP weapon to self and rush on the first turn, so he could heal. Okay, so this is useful because he can heal when he makes a kill. So if I do this, I don't need this here necessarily. I could use Mercer. Let me see. Because I would have to swap his weapon off though. Because if my other tunes end up confused and they attack him, I don't want them to be stunned. There's going to be something here that I could use. See, I could even use something kind of clever. I'm going to have to use something clever or different. Yes, 0 cost modding is up right now. Oh, this is always the tricky part. What I mentioned here, because the stun, I just set up a Rov on my anti-Javier team, but let's say it's a more defensive team. So if we can use a confused resistance here instead, yeah, we'll do that. So this is going to be versus lose. This is very offensive. I'm not a huge fan. You know what? I want a focus tune. Focus will make this better. Focus will make it better. Actually, now this is either going to be really smart or really crazy. Probably the latter. It's going to be really crazy. Yeah, like super crazy. I'm going to use Kate. And I'm going to find a huge bleed resistance. Let's see, I don't think I have a perfect one. That at least is not in use. Nope. Okay, so I'm going to use Kate on this I don't even know what to call it. Anti-Lou, anti-Jackie team. And we're going to hope it works. Yep, we're going to hope it works. So we are going to, her mod set is going to be all over the place. Wow, this, it doesn't even matter. I can't make a set, so I may as well just go with whatever's highest at this point. And here, oh, I know what I want to use. I know exactly what I want to use on her here, actually. Where is it? Actually, I'm not exactly sure, but I'm going to figure it out anyway. This. So this is called making something a little crazy and might not work, but I'm going to try it anyway. Now, the theory is, with Kate having bleed resistance, and a high one at that, if she can resist the bleed, and even if she doesn't completely, like, because with tenacity, if a bleed were to kill her, like, she will still be alive. Oh wait, actually I want to change this, haha. But even if a bleed were to kill her, like, her tenacity will help her survive. And so long as she can rush on that second turn, she should be okay, because with bleed clumping together, because bleed, as I mentioned, it stacks. With bleed stacking, if it's all one type of bleed, then her tenacity will kick in if she is bled, because there is a chance. I have a defense 1 confused mod on her, so that she's going to be confused against Jackie teams, but she has a huge defensive bonus. So hopefully, if she doesn't die on that first turn, I can command rush her on the second turn, give everyone a 50% attack boost, focus, and healing of 30% over 2 turns. So this is going to help if there is lose in traders, because it'll combat infection directly. I can give her this weapon, if I want. So a fast healing weapon, but it's based on like when she dies, it dies. And that's okay, because I think that she's actually doing okay at the moment. I'm just trying to think here, because I'm thinking Jackie, Lou, Trader, and a commander. Because that can rush on turn 1. This will give me the focus that I need, the attack up. It'll help me ignore the taunt and stuff from Trader. It'll help me ignore the confuse. Well, no, like, not the confuse from Jackie. This actually might work. It actually might work, and that would be awesome if it did. Like with Lily, I need to mod her still, but flat amount of damage, applies trauma, crosshairs, defense down, and heal reduction. She gains some AP, 50% attack, and a huge bonus to AP to my fast and tough tunes. I do need to give her some mods. She does flat damage, so having, like, it doesn't matter if I have attack really on her. I want her to control. Wow, I need to plug my phone in. Hold on. You guys are out of my ears for a second. Just need to plug you in. Looks like I'm going to go with defense. Actually, no, HP will be better, especially if there's a bunch of bleed. Bleed resistance, because this is the main focus. We are resisting the bleed. Confuse resistance. We're going to go offset here. Won't lie, I like things like this when I'm able to think on the fly and explain what I'm thinking of as it's happening. To me, it really helps me with creating like real videos to show you that it's not like I think something's going to work and right away it's going to work. It's more, it's a whole process. It's a whole process, which is important. And I hope that by going through this process, it kind of gives you guys a general idea of like how my brain works when I create teams and why I create teams a specific way. So for this team right now, I think it's looking pretty good. I do have a choice here where, no, because 15% helps him more, but obviously she's not being helped enough. Yeah, I think this is gonna work actually. So what I like about this team right now, Lily provides 50% attack, which helps both Princess and Arav out. Huge bonus to AP, helps all of them out. Her rush, 5,000 flat maim damage with crosshairs. She can actually kill and decapitate on her rush. And there's trauma applied. Active skill, defense down and heal reduction. She gains some AP. Her weapon, it's an offensive weapon, which she doesn't really need, like the 40% attack, but the impair and AP down is good, as well as the team player. Kate is here because she will help me against traders specifically on these defensive teams. I gave her a bleed resist mod so that she can hopefully resist some of the lose, but even then her tenacity will help her stay alive. I expect a lot of fast tunes on the defensive teams. Defense versus confused, or defense when confused, so that when she is confused against these Jackie teams, she is still getting a bonus of some sort, so she might not die. More HP because of bleed and stuff. Her HP is quite low, so this is again, it's a crazy idea to use her. I know it's a crazy idea to use her. Princess, confuse resist as well as bleed resist, attack up when taunted. So if Trader taunts my team, hopefully I'm focused from Kate. So even though he attack downs me, her attack up will help, as well as Princess's Berserker and her special weapon. Then we have Maggie here. And because we have a fast healing weapon on this team, having 3 of these yellow tunes means my team's healing 30%, healing 2 tunes 30% each turn, which will help against all the infection. The 15% as well as 25% from traders. Her rush also heals and gives a defensive bonus. Her active skill recovers from impair, if there's any type of impairing weapons. I've given her this type of weapon, absolute defense with team player, to boost a Rov. A Rov has attack first strong because he's on a different team, confused resistance against Jackie teams, attack up 1 taunted for the same reason as Princess, exhaust resistance in case that there is some sort of what do you call it? Oh shoot, actually, because if a bleed is high enough, I'm just okay. This might be an issue actually. This might be an issue. Because if it bleeds high enough, he's dead after the first turn. And I don't have a tune to bring him back. Dang. Okay. I gotta look at this again. Right here. See, I was super excited, guys. I thought I had it, and then I didn't. Simple thing would be to add a bleed resistance. And I guess I can just hope if I'm not confused on the first turn. I'm just trying to think because I don't think I have a way of controlling, like, if, you know what, it's unlikely that there's going to be an angel on defense at the moment. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stick with it. If he dies, he dies. I still have Lily and I have Princess, which isn't bad. I need the confused resistance because his attack is too high. Oh, and his weapon, I kept his natural weapon. It's not perfect or anything, but it's going to do enough good for this specific job. So that's the team that I have. Giving your head spin, good to see you have focus mod on you as well. Once done, if you can please show or help with Pete and Princess weapon upgrade, thank you. With Pete, honestly, I'm just thinking of a weapon swap. So like this weapon that I got from that event, this is kind of what I think that I'll eventually put on Pete. I like the focus stun and it just takes way too long to craft. So instead I'd just rather put the focus stun on him. Keep the alert buffs, HP, huge AP. So that's probably what I'm going to roll with. With Princess weapon, this but with team player 4. So with a 15% attack and plus 35 crit chance, have it at 50% attack and Bob's your uncle, aka it would be good. Very simple, but very effective. You know what? We can raid a few people and see how we're going. And we're gonna see if this is actually effective. So, very offensive team. Interesting. Only tune that has, like a weapon that I could disarm or break. So, I know on this next turn, the princesses are all going to use their active skills, so I'm going to focus myself. Oh, I forgot that he has elusive, so that was my bad. I shouldn't have hit that. So that was honestly just a bad move by me, because I want to do this. Oh, and I forgot that. Again, forgetting what tunes do, but so what I forgot is that when he's normalized, guess what he can't do? He can't command. So this is going to be very interesting, guys. We're gonna get a stun off. So, not the most cohesive at the moment, something I definitely have to get used to. But I'm not entirely disappointed with this team. Not entirely, just a little bit. But that was mostly user error, so I guess I can live with it. User error is one of the biggest issues in this game. I know enough to acknowledge it and be aware that that was not great. But the functionality, I think you can see. So I'm probably going to come back to that because that was slow.
So Pete lead, we're gonna go with first defensive leads. Active skill, active, attack, attack. Going to try and get a status effect, did not get it. Triggering on the first turn is an issue, always an issue. Pete's gonna bring back the other traitor. I should have looked at this team a little more. Yeah. We're gonna jump out of here for a second. We're gonna hit it again. And we're gonna pay attention. So these traitors have what? Huge when taking damage on both of them. So in this case, I actually don't want to use Priya on the first turn, because I'm probably gonna trigger someone. And I'm unsure who impaired me, to be perfectly honest. I kind of missed that. Let me see, because I rely on her. Okay, so my impair resist didn't even work. So I did have impair resist. Princess is gonna taunt me on the next turn. I have to do a basic attack here. Okay. Honestly, I would just say that was kind of unlucky. Yeah, because I don't... How did you get impaired? Hold on. Do you have an impair on attack? Okay, so that's something I don't really see. And if I basic attack her, like, watch, Priya is going to just give her a bunch of AP and probably trigger Pete as well. Oh, nope. Shit. Oh, excuse my language. Sorry, guys. Ignore that. Oh, jeez. YouTube, don't demonetize me, please. I need this. Wow. The odds are not in my favor. That's what I have to say. And it's definitely making this look like a terrible team, which I would say it's not a terrible team, but now I'm thinking that it is. So, guys, I am so sorry. This looks terrible right now. And it does look like I'm hitting a brick wall. Oh, you're immune to taunt? Yeah. It doesn't matter because you're gonna... Oh, you don't have... You're probably gonna resist it. Could take a risk. And you know what, at this point, there's really no point why I wouldn't. I don't know why you have a 50% defensive bonus. I don't think you defended. And now I'm confused, but that's okay. Yeah, guys, do as I say, not as I do. And I triggered a princess, which is marvelous, as you know, because she wrecks everything. This is going to be interesting. This is not a team that I usually struggle with, so it's now making me question some of the mods I chose. Yeah, because I'm not going to be able to take down Pete, no matter what I do there. Yeah. So, yes, and I'm going to keep on hitting it, because I'm stubborn like that and I want to figure out what the best... Okay, so Kenny would be better here, because Kenny with his elusive means that they're not gaining AP. Now, Priya still gives away AP at the moment because of how she's set up, which kind of sucks, but because of where the elusive went. I should learn to be less stubborn. But it's how you learn. So I am going to use a can because I want to keep on hitting some other teams and stuff. So like with this one, I'm going to go back to verse defensive leads and see how it goes. If it goes poorly again, then I'm probably gonna have to remod. And you know what, like, trial and error is probably one of the biggest things in this game. Just figuring out what works and what doesn't. And it can take a while. Like, I studied some engineering and stuff in school, and from what I learned from that is just the best way to go about things is trial and error. You learn by doing, and you can talk about it and say as much as you want, but without actually trying it out and getting used to the team, you're probably going to struggle. So, lots of stun resistances, which is good. You're the only one going off. I actually didn't have to use Dr. Stevens on the first turn with that command. Going to active skill here, because now he cannot, he can't command other tunes. Did I? Oh, I didn't give her the right weapon. And that's something else that's good to check. Make sure you give tunes the correct weapon. If you give them a wrong weapon, well, they're going to struggle. They are going to struggle. Someone's going to die from infection soon. Has to happen. Okay, so this is a good reminder to me to check my weapons. So rampage weapon. Defensive lead. Goes back to this. Okay, pretty basic team here. Nothing really to write home about. And I'm just going to leave this on auto, actually. Because I have attack up, I have a 65% defense down, and then I have 2 damage dealers rushing. Okay, should I pick Angel or the yellow S-Class? Personally, I would pick Angel. I like Angel a lot more, but at the same time, like, Tyler isn't a bad damage dealer. Like, and to be honest, attacking is where the game's at. It's all about points, like in war and stuff. If you want to be able to hit, you have to have a good offensive team. I know some people will argue with me about that, being like, oh, but your defensive team, yes, defense is important, but you don't score points by playing defense. You might survive a little longer, but it doesn't mean you're actually going to score and win. Burn on attack, that's a weird one to put on him. Ooh, how did he just rush? I don't think I gave him enough AP to rush. But I'm definitely gonna flee for a second. And I'm gonna have to rewatch that. Hold on, guys, sorry. I'm actively rewatching how I gave him enough AP. Because I didn't think I did. Oh, I did with Princess, huh? That's my bad. That's kind of funny. Almost funny. It's funny because I didn't notice. But it's kind of helpful that the stream is a few seconds behind, because that way I can go back and actually visually see what I'm doing. So, like, honestly, one of my other suggestions is if you have the opportunity to record yourself while playing, I would, and then go and look back at it. Because you can pick up on so many different things just by looking at it. You might not always know what you did, but after, you know, it might make you or help you see things a bit differently. Hey Bruno, welcome to the chat. And by the way, I can pick one of these characters, and at the moment I don't know who I want to pick. Like, when I take a look, like a Rob, for example, might be nice to have 2 of them eventually. I'm also thinking like 5-star arenas and stuff who could be useful. 350% damage to a line of enemies, 100% AP. Could probably get this running on turn 1, but of course doesn't work against Outlast tunes or Payback, so not as ideal. Who were the other? Gao, I like that he can do damage to everyone. There's actually one more attack team that I want to make for one specific type of team, now that I'm thinking about it. Dayu, she's slow. That's my issue. She's a good controlling tune, but I find her to be pretty slow.
And then I think Wangfa was the other one. And I really only feel like I need one Wangfa, so probably going to end up going with a Rov, but that'll be in a bit. So someone mentioned or asked about like Aaron as a toon, and so the way that I would create an Aaron team, and this is going to be more of a, I guess almost a clever team. Oh, and I guess also Krista. I should use Krista. And I actually need, okay, Gal's on a scavenger mission, so that doesn't help. But the way I want to create this type of team, I need some commanders. I don't want to disarm. I need to command and I need to focus. Command. Maybe this commander? Stun resistance. That should be okay. So, this team, what I'm thinking of, like Krista, I'm gonna give her a splash weapon. Straight up, just giving her a splash weapon. With Gal, I would give him an offensive weapon. So, actually, probably this, to be honest. So, this splash weapon, she is going to get attack while slowed, and then just other attacking mods. Actually, she's gonna get rid of that attacking mod, and then attack first fast, confuse resistance, and maybe a crit chance mod. Yeah. Or maybe an HP mod. You know what, I'll give her defense because I don't want her to die. So the reasoning behind this, she's a waste not toon. Oh, actually, we're going to go with attack up when impaired. Change my mind. 82, actually, we can see if there's one that's better that's offset. So this specific setup is for people who run slow weapons on defense. So like the impenetrable defense. Because if you attack them enough, you're going to end up slowed. If you end up slowed, well, that's just a huge attack boost. And that's my highest one, so perfect. So this works well against errands and stuff like that, so if I end up slowed, I could get a splash to happen. Like, because it's just off of basic attacks and stuff. And if she splashes, she could potentially kill everyone. With Gal, what I like about him is that his rush hits one enemy and all enemies adjacent. So I can also give him attack up when slowed. It's such a simple and almost like ridiculous method, but at the same time it can be very, very effective. Now, with those teams, I actually don't want to become impaired because this guy actually needs to rush. This guy, again, attack first, fast, and we'll go with an HP mod. So what I like about this type of team is that it's simple, but it's also a little clever, because by running attack up when slowed, if I intentionally attack an impenetrable defense toon and I end up slowed, well, I'm getting a huge attack boost. Or if we see those slow towers again, and all I need is Krista to splash once. She splashes once, game over. With Erin, she's a decent damage dealer, to be honest, but I'm going to use her more for a controlling aspect here. Yeah, because I want her to rush. I might actually have a better, impair resistance. Attack versus blues. And thinking about this. I don't exactly need an attacking mod, which is kind of funny, because most people would assume you do. Maybe stun resist. Yeah, just something short, simple. She's a controlling toon. Glenn is only there for like moral support, basically. Give him a defensive stun weapon. And I can't put Gal on this team at the moment, but attack plus slowed. Slowed, not slower. So just kind of creating some clever teams as well. And I guess if you want, like, this is my Taunt Smash team. So Taunt Smash, I've done a number of videos on this. I've done these videos for years, to be honest. Like, I have a video that's over a year old, for sure, that shows how attack up when taunted can be manipulated really easily, like super easily. And it doesn't really need much for it. You kind of just wait until you're taunted. So, to be honest, I could double dip on this to make sure that it actually happens. And yeah, just something like that. Throw on an attack up when taunted mod. And I got taunt smashes ready. The funny thing is, you don't even need to be in like an attacking set because of how overpowered it actually is. These mods are not great, but whoops. We'll put that on for now. Defense verse, HP, and here, let me see, some of the taunt teams, maybe stun resistance? It's not a very good one though. That's the downside, right? Yeah, we'll throw on a stun resistance for now. Keep it as is. We'll actually take Sean out. And we'll put in a princess because of that normalized, just in case. Here, actually we'll use this one here. And for Glenn, we're actually going to swap out Glenn because we will use Maggie. Just in case we do get impaired, she can recover impair. So kind of just covering our butts. There we go. So basic taunt smash. Pretty effective. Again, just kind of manipulating what's being presented in front of us. So yeah, I think that might be it for right now. We've been streaming for like over 2 hours, which is kind of crazy. Current team I'm running for attack is Lily, Arav, Doc Stevens, Kenny, and I'm trying to figure out who is the 5th. Glenn is actually helping me for now. A command tune is always useful. Command tune on any offensive team, in my opinion, is like always useful, so that's something to think about. Yeah, I think I'm pretty much done with modding everyone. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask away. But this was a super long stream. Super long. And I'm probably going to have to do some work today, actually. Because working is important, guys. Working is very important. So, any last questions, comments, concerns? If not, I hope you guys learned some stuff from this stream and you guys got to kind of listen in and understand my thought process behind a lot of what I do. And I know it can be very confusing, and sometimes the results don't look as good as you'd think they'd be, but you kind of work around it, you make adjustments, you do the best you can. You can't expect everything to be perfect. You think it will be, of course. You hope it will be in your head, but it never really ends up going that way. And you know what? That's why I love trial and error. Just figuring things out, finding good combinations. Thank you, Pedro. I appreciate that. Now, thank you everyone for watching and listening to my stream. You guys have been awesome. This has been super long. I need more coffee and more food. And I'm going to get to work because I'm working on things that'll help everyone. More than this stream.
So that makes me super excited. So see you later, everyone.